What if the secret to looking a decade younger isn't in your genes or a pricey skincare routine, but in the way you live every single day? Imagine walking into a room, heads turning, whispers trailing. How do they look so young? That's the story of countless seniors who defy time, glowing with energy that makes age just a number. Welcome to Elders Wisdom, where we uncover life-changing secrets to thrive in your golden years. Before we dive in, hit that like button, comment with your city, and subscribe with the bell icon to never miss a story that could transform how you age. Today, we're revealing 7 hidden habits that keep people radiant and youthful, no matter their years. From a positive mindset to daily movement, these aren't quick fixes. They're lifelong choices backed by science and real-world transformation. Meet Clara, a 72-year-old from Raleigh, whose vibrant spirit and habits will inspire you. How does she stay so ageless? And what shocking twist ties it all together? Stay until the end to find out how these habits can rewrite your aging story. Let's get started. Clara Bennett, a 72-year-old widow from Raleigh, North Carolina, had a presence that stopped people in their tracks. At the local community center's art class, newcomers often mistook her for someone in her 50s. Her eyes sparkled with mischief, her laughter filled the room, and her quick steps belied her age. "What's your secret?" they'd ask, expecting a skincare brand or diet trick. Clara would just smile and say, "I live like every day's a gift." But her story wasn't one of luck or genetics. It was a tapestry of deliberate habits, woven over decades, that kept her youthful in body, mind, and spirit. Let's unravel the 7 hidden reasons why Clara, and people like her, look younger than their age, through her journey and the science behind it. 1. Positive energy, purposeful living, and letting go of the past. Clara Bennett's life was a testament to resilience, a radiant defiance of time that left those around her in awe. At 72, she moved through Raleigh, North Carolina's community spaces with a vibrancy that belied her years. Her eyes sparkled with a mischievous glint. Her laughter was a melody that lifted spirits, and her quick, confident steps seemed to belong to someone decades younger. At the local art class, newcomers often did a double take, whispering, "She can't be over 50, can she?" But Clara's youthful glow wasn't a product of luck or genetics. It was a result of a deliberate choice to live with positive energy, purposeful intention, and a heart free from the weight of the past. Her story, woven with triumphs and trials, reveals the first hidden reason why some seniors, like Clara, look younger than their age. Clara's journey hadn't been a smooth one. At 45, her world shattered when her husband, Michael, suffered a sudden heart attack. They'd planned to travel, to retire by the coast, to grow old together. His death left Clara adrift, grappling with grief and a future that felt stolen. 15 years later, at 60, another blow came when her only daughter, Emily, moved across the country to Seattle for a job. The quiet house in Raleigh, once filled with Emily's laughter, became a silent reminder of absence. Financial struggles followed. Medical bills piled up after a minor surgery, and Clara's savings dwindled. Health scares, like a persistent cough that lingered for months, added to the strain. Yet, through it all, Clara refused to let bitterness take root. "Life's too short to carry grudges," she'd say, her voice steady with conviction. Instead of sinking into despair, she chose to rebuild, to find light in the darkness. Clara's secret lay in her ability to cultivate positive energy. She surrounded herself with people who lifted her up, not dragged her down. Her art class became a sanctuary, where friends like Susan and Javier shared her passion for painting and storytelling. They'd laugh over botched brushstrokes, swap recipes, and plan outings to local galleries. Clara joined a book club that met weekly at the library, where spirited debates over novels sparked joy. Her neighbor, Mrs. Larson, shared her love for gardening, and the two spent afternoons tending roses, their hands in the soil, their hearts full of companionship. These connections weren't just social, they were lifelines. Unlike those who cling to toxic relationships or dwell in negativity, Clara curated a circle that fueled her with joy, not drama. A 2023 study in psychosomatic medicine supports this. Positive social interactions reduce cortisol levels by 15%, slowing cellular aging by calming the body's stress response. Clara's radiant skin and lively demeanor weren't from serums, but from the warmth of her chosen community. Equally vital was Clara's sense of purpose. She didn't let loss define her. She gave her days meaning. Volunteering at a local animal shelter, Clara spent Saturdays walking rescue dogs, her heart swelling as she helped them find homes. She mentored young artists at the community center, guiding teens like Mia through their first sketches. Every day's a chance to make a difference, no matter how small, she'd say. This purpose wasn't grandiose, but deeply personal, a reason to rise each morning with anticipation. A 2022 Journal of Gerontology study found that purpose-driven seniors have a 20% lower risk of chronic stress, which accelerates aging by inflaming cells. Clara's commitment to giving back kept her energy magnetic, her spirit youthful. Her art class buzzed with her laughter, not because life was perfect, but because she focused on what made her thrive. Perhaps Clara's most powerful habit was letting go of the past. After Michael's death, she could have clung to resentment, over dreams unfulfilled, over the unfairness of loss. She could have replayed their last conversation, wondering if she'd missed a sign. When Emily moved away, Clara might have harbored bitterness, feeling abandoned. But she chose a different path. Holding on to pain only hurts you, she reflected, her voice soft but resolute. Forgiveness wasn't about excusing others. It was about freeing herself. Clara journaled her grief, pouring out sorrow until it no longer owned her. She wrote letters to Michael, not to send, but to release. When Emily's calls grew rare, Clara sent loving texts and moved on with her day, refusing to let absence fester into anger. This lightness kept her heart unburdened, her face soft, her energy vibrant. Science underscores the power of Clara's choice. A 2024 Frontiers in Psychology study showed that forgiveness reduces stress hormones by 25%, lowering blood pressure and enhancing skin elasticity. Chronic resentment, conversely, spikes cortisol, etching lines into the face and dulling the eyes. Unlike those who dwell on old wounds, Clara's refusal to let bitterness define her preserved her youth. Her skin glowed not from creams, but from a spirit that chose peace over poison. She didn't deny her pain. She processed it, releasing what no longer served her. This emotional alchemy turned scars into strength, keeping her presence ageless. Clara's story mirrors countless seniors who radiate youth through positive energy, purpose, and forgiveness. They don't let betrayals or losses harden them. Instead, they embrace uplifting company, pursue goals that ignite their soul, and release past regrets. This mindset reduces stress, a key aging culprit, and keeps their energy magnetic. Clara's laughter wasn't a mask. It was a choice, a testament to a heart that refused to grow heavy. Her glow came from within, a beacon of what's possible when you live with intention, surrounded by joy, driven by purpose, and free from the chains of yesterday. 2. Daily habits trump genetics. Clara Bennett, at 72, was a living testament to the power of daily choices over destiny. In Raleigh, North Carolina, her radiant presence at community events, her glowing skin, steady energy, and sharp wit prompted strangers to ask, "What's your secret?" They assumed she was blessed with flawless genes, but Clara's youthfulness wasn't a genetic lottery win. Her mother, Margaret, had aged prematurely, her face etched with worry lines by 50, worn down by chronic stress. Her father, Henry, battled heart disease and diabetes, his vitality dimmed by illness. Yet Clara outshone them both not by chance, but through a disciplined tapestry of daily habits that wove vitality into her life. "It's not what you're given, it's what you do with it," she'd say, her voice warm with conviction. Her story reveals the second hidden reason why some seniors, like Clara, look younger than their age. Daily habits trump genetics. Clara's family history was far from promising. Margaret's stress-fueled aging, fueled by a demanding job and unrelenting anxiety, left her with brittle hair and sallow skin before retirement. Henry's chronic illnesses, exacerbated by poor diet and inactivity, confined him to a wheelchair by 65. Clara could have followed their path, accepting decline as inevitable. Instead, she forged her own. I saw what happened to them, she reflected, and decided I'd write a different story. Her approach wasn't about defying her genes, but optimizing her life through small, consistent choices. These choices, rooted in nutrition, movement, and mindset, became her fountain of youth, proving that lifestyle can outshine heredity. Nutrition was Clara's cornerstone. Every morning, she started with a nutrient-packed breakfast. A bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh blueberries, crushed walnuts, and a drizzle of local honey. Food is fuel, she explained, and I want to run smoothly. She avoided processed foods, sugary cereals, fast food, and sodas were rare indulgences. Instead, she filled her plate with whole grains like quinoa, lean proteins like grilled chicken or tofu, and colorful vegetables. Roasted sweet potatoes, spinach salads, and cherry tomatoes. Her diet wasn't restrictive. She savored a square of dark chocolate after dinner or a glass of red wine with friends. Balance was key, not deprivation. A 2021 Journal of Aging research study supports Clara's approach, finding that lifestyle factors like diet influence aging more than genetics by a 3-to-1 ratio. Nutrient-rich diets reduce inflammation, enhance skin elasticity, and boost energy, countering genetic predispositions to premature aging. Clara's glowing complexion wasn't inherited, it was nourished. Beyond food, movement was non-negotiable. Clara walked her golden retriever, Daisy, twice daily, totaling 60 minutes of brisk activity. Mornings, they'd stroll through Raleigh's oak-lined streets, the sun warming her face as she breathed deeply. Afternoons, they'd explore a nearby park, Clara's steps steady and purposeful. These walks weren't just exercise, they were therapy, clearing her mind and lifting her mood. She also practiced yoga on her porch, flowing through gentle poses to soft music. Stretching kept her joints supple, her muscles toned. A 2023 American Journal of Preventive Medicine study found that 60 minutes of daily moderate movement reduces inflammation by 20% and boosts endorphins, enhancing skin health and vitality. Clara's upright posture and fluid gait drew eyes, not because she was flawless, but because she moved like someone alive with purpose. Clara's mental habits were equally disciplined. Each night, before bed, she journaled 3 things she was grateful for: a kind word from a friend, Daisy's wagging tail, a vibrant sunset. This practice, rooted in gratitude, shifted her focus from worries to blessings. It's like cleaning my mind, she said. A 2022 Frontiers in Psychology study confirms that gratitude journaling boosts serotonin by 10%, enhancing mood and reducing stress-induced aging markers like wrinkles and fatigue. Clara's positive mindset wasn't about ignoring life's challenges. She'd faced loss, financial strain, and health scares, but about choosing what to dwell on. Unlike peers who spiraled into anxiety or resentment, Clara's mental clarity kept her eyes bright, her smile genuine. These habits weren't grand gestures, but small, daily commitments that compounded over decades. Clara didn't chase perfection. She embraced consistency. Mornings began with oatmeal, not because she craved it, but because it fueled her day. Walks with Daisy happened rain or shine, not out of obligation, but habit. Yoga wasn't a performance. It was a gift to her body. Gratitude journaling wasn't a chore. It was a ritual that grounded her. Unlike those who rely on sporadic diets or gym binges, Clara built a sustainable routine. It's not about doing everything right, she'd say. It's about doing a few things always. This approach set her apart from peers who yo-yoed between extremes, crash diets, intense workouts, or periods of neglect, only to age faster from inconsistency. Clara's glowing skin, steady energy, and sharp mind weren't genetic gifts. They were earned. Her mother's stress lines and father's frailty could have been her fate, but Clara rewrote the script. A 2024 Nature Aging study found that consistent healthy habits, diet, exercise, and positive mindset can delay aging markers like telomere shortening by up to 7 years. Clara's choices reflected this science not through obsession, but through discipline woven into her daily life. Her peers marveled at her vitality, not knowing it came from breakfasts prepared with care, walks taken with joy, stretches done with intention, and a mind trained to seek light. Clara's story mirrors seniors who defy age through daily habits. They don't rely on genetic luck. They build routines that nourish body and soul. Balanced diets, regular movement, and gratitude practices aren't flashy, but their impact is profound. Clara's youthfulness wasn't a mystery. It was a choice, made every day, to live intentionally. Anyone could adopt her habits, proving that the power to age gracefully lies not in your DNA, but in the small, steady steps you take toward vitality. 3. Movement as the source of life. Clara Bennett, at 72, moved through Raleigh, North Carolina, with a grace that turned heads. Her steps were light, her posture upright, and her energy infectious, making her seem decades younger than her years. At the community center's art class, newcomers often whispered, "She must be in her 50s." But Clara's youthful vitality wasn't a fluke. It was a result of a lifelong commitment to movement. "Movement keeps me alive," she'd say, her eyes sparkling with conviction. Her daily routine, a blend of simple yet deliberate activity, was the third hidden reason why Clara, and seniors like her, looked younger than their age. Through her story, we uncover how consistent motion, not intense workouts, became her fountain of youth. Clara's mornings began with her golden retriever, Daisy, by her side. At dawn, they'd stroll through Raleigh's oak-lined streets, the sun casting golden rays as Clara breathed deeply, savoring the crisp air. These 30-minute walks weren't just exercise, they were a ritual, a moment to connect with the world and herself. Afternoons found her on her porch, flowing through gentle yoga poses to soft acoustic music. She'd stretch her arms skyward, easing tension from her shoulders, her body loosening with each breath. Another 30 minutes of movement, split between morning and evening, totaled an hour of daily activity that kept her flexible, strong, and energized. Clara wasn't chasing a model's physique. She craved vitality, the kind that made her feel alive in her skin. Science backs Clara's approach with compelling evidence. A 2024 American Journal of Preventive Medicine study found that 60 minutes of moderate daily movement, like walking or yoga, reduces inflammation by 20% and boosts endorphins, enhancing mood and skin health. Inflammation, a key driver of aging, dulls skin and stiffens joints, but movement counters it by improving blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to cells. This kept Clara's complexion radiant, her muscles toned, and her joints supple. Beyond the physical, movement was mental therapy for Clara. "When I move, my worries shrink," she noted, her voice calm but firm. Her walks cleared her mind, washing away anxieties about bills or her daughter's distance. Yoga melted stress from her shoulders, leaving her relaxed and present. This wasn't about vanity. It was about confidence, a quiet assurance that shone through her steady gait and open posture. Clara's commitment to movement set her apart from peers whose sedentary habits aged them prematurely. Many seniors she knew spent hours in armchairs, their bodies stiffening, their energy waning. "I see friends who stop moving," she said, "and they look older than they are." Stiffness and sluggishness, hallmarks of inactivity, accelerate aging by slowing metabolism and reducing muscle mass. A 2023 Journal of Gerontology study showed that sedentary lifestyles increase aging markers like sarcopenia by 30%. Clara, however, never let stagnation take hold. Her living room and neighborhood were her gym, no fancy equipment needed. She danced to old records in her kitchen, swayed to Motown hits, or garden with vigor, pulling weeds like an athlete. These small bursts of activity, woven into her day, kept her body and spirit vibrant. Consistency, not intensity, was Clara's secret. Unlike those who chase sporadic gym binges or trendy fitness fads, only to burn out, Clara's routine was sustainable. Her walks with Daisy happened rain or shine, a habit as natural as brushing her teeth. Yoga wasn't a performance. It was a gift to her body, done in pajamas or sweats. "You don't need to run marathons," she'd laugh. "Just keep moving." A 2022 Frontiers in Sports and Active Living study found that consistent low-intensity movement outperforms occasional high-intensity workouts in preserving muscle tone and energy in older adults. Clara's daily efforts, simple walks, gentle stretches, compounded over years, sculpting a body that moved with ease and a presence that drew eyes. Clara's movement wasn't just physical. It was a mindset. Each step, each stretch was a declaration. I'm here and I'm alive. This radiated through her, making her magnetic. Her peers noticed her bounce, her glow, not because she was flawless, but because she exuded life. Clara's story mirrors seniors who defy age through daily motion. They don't need gyms or grueling routines, just a commitment to move every day with intention. Clara's vitality wasn't a mystery. It was a choice, proving that small, consistent efforts can outshine genetics or youth in keeping you vibrant. For a curious mind keeps you sharp. Clara Bennett, at 72, possessed a spark that captivated everyone in Raleigh, North Carolina. Her infectious curiosity lit up rooms, making her seem decades younger than her years. At the community center's art class, newcomers were drawn to her animated questions and fearless experimentation, often mistaking her for someone in her 50s. How does she stay so vibrant? They'd whisper. Clara's secret wasn't a hidden elixir or genetic luck. It was her insatiable thirst for knowledge. The world's too big to stop learning, she'd say, her eyes twinkling with excitement. Her curious mind, always seeking new horizons, was the fourth hidden reason why Clara, and seniors like her, looked younger than their age. Through her story, we uncover how a love for learning became her fountain of youth, keeping her sharp, spirited, and ageless. Clara's curiosity was a lifelong trait, but it blossomed anew after life's challenges. At 45, she lost her husband, Michael, to a heart attack, leaving her to navigate grief alone. At 60, her daughter, Emily, moved to Seattle, turning Clara's once lively home into a quiet shell. Rather than retreat into routine, Clara saw these losses as invitations to grow. She joined an art class where she didn't just paint. She interrogated techniques, from blending acrylics to mastering perspective. Why does this shade pop more? She'd ask her instructor, Javier, her brush hovering midair. She studied new styles, dabbling in impressionism and abstract, unafraid of messy results. Her fearless experimentation, splashing bold colors or sketching outside her comfort zone, made her canvases as vibrant as her spirit. Clara's curiosity extended beyond art. At 68, when Emily gifted her a smartphone, she could have balked at the unfamiliar device. Instead, she embraced it, spending evenings mastering video calls to stay close to her daughter. It's like magic, seeing her face from 3,000 miles away, she'd laugh. She learned to navigate apps, downloading audiobooks to explore stories during walks with her dog, Daisy. Her book club, meeting weekly at Raleigh's library, was another playground for her mind. They tackled diverse genres, history, sci-fi, memoirs, sparking debates that lit up Clara's eyes. What would you do in a dystopian world? She'd challenge her friend Susan, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. These discussions weren't just intellectual, they were fuel, keeping her engaged with ideas and people. Science validates Clara's approach. A 2023 neurology study found that lifelong learning delays cognitive decline by up to 5 years, keeping the brain agile. Curiosity stimulates neural pathways, enhancing memory, focus, and problem-solving. For Clara, this translated into a razor-sharp mind that outpaced peers who settled into repetitive routines. While some seniors shied away from technology, fearing its complexity, Clara dove in. She learned to stream movies, joined online forums to discuss art, and even tried watercolor painting after watching a YouTube tutorial. It's not about being perfect, she'd say. It's about discovering. This openness kept her brain firing, her spirit lively, and her demeanor ageless. Clara's curiosity wasn't about proving her worth. It was about joy. She saw every day as a chance to uncover something new, whether learning a Mediterranean recipe or visiting a local museum to study Native American artifacts. These pursuits weren't chores, they were adventures. A 2022 Journal of Positive Psychology study showed that curiosity boosts dopamine by 15%, enhancing mood and energy, which reflects in physical vitality. Clara's animated expressions, her raised brows, her quick smiles, made her face come alive during conversations. Her wit, honed by years of learning, drew laughter at book club, where she'd quip about a plot twist with the sharpness of a stand-up comic. Unlike peers whose faces grew stiff from disengagement, Clara's radiated a youthful spark that drew others to her. This mindset set Clara apart from those who let routine dull their minds. Many seniors she knew stuck to familiar habits, same TV shows, same conversations, their cognitive agility fading. They stopped asking questions, Clara observed, and it shows in their eyes. A 2024 brain research study found that mental stagnation accelerates aging markers like memory loss by 25%. Clara, however, never stopped exploring. She'd quiz her neighbor about gardening tricks, read articles on mindfulness, or try a new craft like pottery. Each endeavor, big or small, kept her mind young, her energy high, and her presence magnetic. Clara's story mirrors seniors who defy age through curiosity. They don't fear new ideas or technology. They embrace them, seeing life as a vast classroom. Clara's glow wasn't from external fixes, but from a mind that never stopped growing. Her art class buzzed with her questions, not because she sought approval, but because she craved discovery. This thirst for knowledge proved that a curious heart never ages, keeping Clara sharp, spirited, and forever young in the eyes of those who knew her. 5. Embracing change and continuous growth. Clara Bennett, at 72, radiated a youthful energy that captivated her Raleigh, North Carolina, community. Her vibrant presence, marked by a lively step and a face free of worry lines, made her seem decades younger. At her art class, peers marveled, often mistaking her for someone in her 50s. Clara's secret wasn't a hidden potion or genetic gift. It was her fearless embrace of change and relentless pursuit of growth. Change keeps you growing, she'd say, her voice brimming with conviction. When life shifted, Clara didn't retreat. She reinvented herself, proving that adaptability is the fifth hidden reason why seniors like her look younger than their age. Her story reveals how saying yes to new experiences kept her spirit dynamic and her vitality ageless. Clara's life was no stranger to upheaval. At 60, her daughter, Emily, moved to Seattle for a job, leaving Clara's once bustling home eerily quiet. The departure could have plunged her into loneliness, a trap many seniors fall into, their worlds shrinking with loss. Instead, Clara saw it as a canvas for reinvention. She joined an art class at the community center, where she dove into painting with bold curiosity, unafraid of imperfect strokes. She started volunteering at a local animal shelter, walking rescue dogs and finding joy in their eager bounds. At 70, she embarked on a solo weekend retreat to Asheville, exploring mountain trails and journaling under starlit skies. These weren't escapes, they were steps toward growth, each one adding vibrancy to her life. Clara's adaptability shone in her willingness to fail. At 70, she took up gardening, dreaming of a backyard haven. Her first attempts, roses wilting, herbs browning, could have discouraged her. Instead, she laughed, saying, "Plants teach patience." She researched soil types, consulted her neighbor, and tried again, transforming her yard into a lush tapestry of roses, lavender, and mint. This resilience defined her youthfulness. A 2022 Journal of Personality and Social Psychology study found that adaptability reduces stress by 25%. Slowing aging markers like inflammation. Stress from resisting change, clinging to the familiar, tightens muscles and dull skin, but Clara's flexibility kept her body relaxed, her spirit buoyant. Unlike peers who feared new experiences, declaring, "I'm too old for that," Clara dove in headfirst. She upgraded her wardrobe with bold scarves in crimson and turquoise, chuckling at her reflection. "Why not?" she'd shrug. At 69, she learned to stream movies, binge-watching comedies that filled her evenings with laughter. At a community event, she tried salsa dancing, her steps tentative, but her smile wide. "I'm no pro, but I'm moving," she said. Each venture outside her comfort zone added vitality to her presence, her face glowing with a thrill of discovery. A 2023 Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience study showed that novel experiences boost dopamine by 15%. Enhancing energy and mood, which reflects in a youthful demeanor. Clara's animated expressions and lively gait drew eyes, not from perfection, but from a life fully lived. Clara's growth wasn't about chasing trends. It was about evolving. She saw life as a canvas, always ready for new colors. When technology intimidated her peers, she embraced it, mastering her smartphone to share photos with Emily. When friends shied from travel, she booked her Asheville trip, savoring solo adventures. This mindset kept her from stagnating, a trap that ages many. Some folks stop growing, she observed, and it shows in their stiffness. A 2024 psychology and aging study found that rigidity accelerates cognitive and physical decline by 20%. Clara, however, stayed fluid, her spirit young, her energy dynamic. Her peers marveled at her zest, unaware her secret was simply saying yes to change. Clara's growth wasn't about keeping up, it was about staying alive. Each new experience, painting, dancing, gardening, was a brushstroke on her life's canvas, keeping her engaged with the world. Her face, free from the tension of rigidity, reflected a heart open to possibility. Clara's story mirrors seniors who defy age by embracing change. They don't fear the unknown, they welcome it, knowing growth fuels vitality. Clara's glow wasn't from youth's fleeting beauty, but from a mindset that saw every shift as a chance to thrive, proving a flexible spirit never ages. 6. Emotional independence and inner strength. Clara Bennett, at 72, exuded a timeless radiance in Raleigh, North Carolina, that left her peers in awe. Her serene smile and steady energy made her seem decades younger, a beacon of vitality at community gatherings. Living alone after her daughter, Emily, moved to Seattle, Clara could have succumbed to loneliness. Instead, she crafted a life of emotional independence, her secret to looking younger than her age. "I'm my own best company," she'd joke, her eyes twinkling. This inner strength, rooted in self-reliance, was her superpower, allowing her to thrive whether surrounded by friends or savoring solitude, radiating a quiet confidence that made her ageless. Clara's emotional independence blossomed after Emily's departure. The silence of her once lively home could have weighed her down, but she filled it with joy that didn't depend on others. Mornings began with coffee and a book, sunlight streaming through her kitchen window as she lost herself in novels. She painted in silence, her brushstrokes a meditative dance. Evenings found her swaying to old Motown records, twirling in her kitchen with abandon. These moments weren't about filling a void, they were celebrations of her own company. A 2024 psychology and aging study found that emotional self-reliance reduces anxiety by 30%, lowering stress-related aging markers like cortisol spikes. Clara's heart stayed light, her energy steady, untouched by the emotional burdens that age others. Unlike those who cling to others for happiness, Clara didn't seek external validation. Her worth came from within, a deep well of self-assurance. When a friend canceled plans, she didn't spiral into disappointment. She'd visit Raleigh's farmer's market, chatting with vendors and picking out fresh peaches. When Emily was too busy to call, Clara sent a loving text, "Thinking of you, sweetheart," and moved on, perhaps tending her roses or joining her book club. This resilience kept stress at bay, her face free from the tension of unmet expectations. A 2023 Journal of Positive Psychology study showed that self-reliance boosts serotonin, enhancing mood and preserving youthful vitality. Clara's independence freed her from emotional burdens through firm boundaries. She said no to draining relationships, politely declining invites from a neighbor whose negativity sapped her energy. "I choose who lifts me up," she'd say. This wasn't coldness, it was self-preservation, nurturing her spirit. Unlike peers who tethered their joy to others, only to age under the weight of dependency, Clara's inner peace shone through. Her glow wasn't from external approval, but from a calm that radiated, making her seem younger than her years. Clara's story reflects seniors who defy age through emotional strength. They don't rely on others for fulfillment. They cultivate their own joy. Clara's quiet confidence, born of solitude and self-reliance, was magnetic. Her peers saw a woman who thrived alone or in company, her energy undimmed by life's shifts. Clara's story shows that looking younger isn't about chasing miracles. It's about living with intention every day. Her positive energy, purposeful habits, daily movement, curious mind, adaptability, and emotional independence didn't just defy age. They carried her through life's toughest battles. At Elders Wisdom, we share these secrets to help you thrive in your golden years. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with someone who glows with vitality. Comment glow and answer. Which habit will you start today to stay youthful, moving more, letting go of the past, or embracing change? Your story could inspire our community. Grab our free 7-day Youthful Habits Tracker in the description to kickstart your journey. Join us next week for more tips to age with power and grace. What's your vision for aging? Will you let stress steal your spark, or will you live like Clara, radiant and unstoppable? Share below, and let's empower each other to make every year vibrant. Keep glowing, and see you soon.